Good morning, everybody. It's Shanda Sumpter with Coffee with Shanda, and Zach just woke up because Daddy is off for a run this morning. So he's got his headlight on, and he's out there running in the pitch black in San Diego, and this little guy just woke up, and he keeps saying to me, "Mommy, in bed." So I just want to say good morning, and my son just gets to be with me this morning because of the fact that I am a mom, and I am running a multiple $1-million business out of my living room, and normally my son sleeps, and he's here with me this morning, so it's kind of sweet. Say good morning. Say good morning. So here's why I think it's kind of neat that he's here. First and foremost, I think it's neat because sometimes we get frustrated or we're mad because things don't work out our own way. Like, for instance, I can't do Coffee with Shanda just by myself because my nanny doesn't start till later on today. And my husband normally watches Zach in the mornings, but he's decided that he wants to do a cross-America run and bike from San Diego to New York City. And because of that, he's now getting up early in the morning and he's training, and I'm being a supportive wife. And it's not all about me, and it's not all about Zach. It's about Daddy too. So anyway, so I just wanted to say good morning, good morning, good morning. I have been playing Christmas music all morning. I got up, I read my Bible, and prayed for some people. I've been drinking some eggnog. Woo, woo! Eggnog is out now, you guys. I'm super excited about that. And I wanted to share something that, I actually had a whole different thing prepared for this morning, but because this little guy got up, it kind of changes the dynamics of it. But this morning, so every morning when I read the Bible, I ask the Holy Spirit to just have the Bible sink in, because I've only been reading the Bible for about a year now. I guess this is the second year, and I still don't consider myself a Bible girl. Like I guess that's the way I can describe it. Like, it's not like, what are you doing? It's not like I've been sitting there studying the Bible for so many years and going to Bible study like some of you guys and things like that. I picked up the Bible because of a calling to understand and learn Scripture. Nothing else but that. And it was just more of, I went from spiritual context to really wanting to learn the full Scripture. And so that's how I ended up reading the Bible. So I always ask for the Bible to make sense to me and for it to just kind of sink in and have a really, an aha tipping point moment. So this morning it was all about creating peace in our day with everyone and everything that we can. And I thought, this is so relevant. Like when we go through the day, like this morning, I almost always wake up in a really good mood. Like if I could scream "good morning" to everybody in the house and they would all be happy, I would do that. I love the mornings. I never used to like 5 o'clock in the mornings, but I still loved when I woke up in the mornings in a good mood. But then you go through your day and things like your husband or your son, or somebody, your virtual assistant or your friend, or somebody's got to clear with you, or something happens, right? And your sister, and there's things that emotionally trigger us. And I think, like, even this moment, like, there was probably a day he's smiling at himself, watching himself in the picture. There was a day when just my child, when I didn't have a child, would get up, meaning that there was a time in my emotional intelligence where something like my child, disrupting like my time or my thread, my video, my writing would have been something that would have drove me crazy. Oh, Daddy's home. You can go see Daddy now. You want to go see Daddy? You want to go see Daddy? And how's your run?
Great.
Awesome. So there was a time when those things would have drove me crazy, or I would have gotten really frustrated. And when I was reading this piece in the Bible about creating peace with everyone, could you just say goodbye? Thanks, babe. It's right here. Sorry, guys. there would have been a time when that would have driven me crazy. And so I share this with you because as I was reading the Bible, I was thinking, there's one person in my life right now, and it's been a really long time since I've ever had a rub in any sort of my relationships. And there's one person in my life that I've had a rub. This person isn't really in my life, but they're around my life. And I trigger this person like crazy. And I'm just being really transparent. Like it's this person is triggered by me out of fear. They have really talked a lot behind my back, and I'm sure you have one of these in your life, right? And I felt like I kind of handled it really well for about 3 months, and then after 3 months, I started getting a little bit frustrated with the fact that I keep giving to this person and they keep thrashing me, right? And so as I'm reading the Bible, I'm sitting here going, I wish I could read the whole passage to you, but it was the whole passage was about how your life works so much better when you do everything you can to try and create peace. And the truth is I stopped trying to create peace with this person. Honestly, I just was righteous about the fact that they deserve whatever they get, and just whatever, just ignored them. But there's probably 5 people in my life that I've said some negative things to them about this person, right? And so that's not creating peace. That's creating righteousness. And so, the Bible goes on to share that you don't have to have all these people in your life, right? You definitely don't. But what are you doing to create peace in these moments of your life? So that's an example of like a broken relationship. And I know I could probably heal that relationship. I've done it twice now over the last year with this person, and I keep thinking it's okay, and then they have another breakdown about me, right? And the worst part is they're not having breakdowns to me, they're having breakdowns to other people about me, like crying until 2 o'clock in the morning about me in front of a lot of people, or you know what I mean? Like there's just these, and they hurt, like these moments hurt. And so when they hurt, the automatic reaction is you want to lash out, or you want to comfort them. And so for me, I just realized that I just wanted to pray for this person and genuinely let them off the hook, right? I don't want them in my life, but I genuinely would like to let them off the hook and not have any feelings inside about them being right or wrong. And so I'm going to go off and do that today and really do the work to see their side of things, and do the work to just forgive them and let them go. Right? So that they're not in my energy field anymore. And so that when somebody brings them up about another thing that they're doing about me, I can just have empathy versus a trigger of anger or frustration or whatever that looks like. So now let me share something with you. I'm actually proud of myself on the way I've been with this broken relationship, because there's a lot of things I could have done to make it a full-on war, right? And I share this with you because that's not good enough, right? Like don't let a thought like that be good enough in a broken relationship, right? Like that's not good enough that I'm proud of myself. I could still be better and have nothing in me but empathy when I hear about this person, right? So now let's just take it outside of my broken moment or my broken relationship. And let's move it over to like your day-to-day life. And I thought, how many of us are in relationships? How many of us are going to get something that's going to happen to us today that is going to feel like you're right about being mad? And what if you could stop and say, how can I create peace in this moment? Well, you won't if you don't see the value of it. Right? You won't if you don't see the value of it. It's like if somebody just irritates you or does something. Like I had an employee, sign a sponsorship for $30,000 that I did not approve, right? Like it was not in my agreement. And so she went off and she did that. And I lost that $30,000. And I swear to you, I had my husband next to me. I had my son in the back of the car when I got the message that $30,000 is gone. And I got out of the car and this is what I said. Before I got out of the car, I went, shit. And then my son repeated in the back seat, he's 2. And he went, shit. I went, oh, he's never repeated something like that before. And I started to laugh and I said, oh, I really have to watch my words. And Ash and I walked into the coffee shop and I said, lesson be learned how I could do this differently next time. I saw the value in being a powerful CEO of my company and not allowing something like that to take me down. Now, do you always have that type of thought process with, let's say, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your sister, somebody who just gets underneath your skin? Do you have that same, emotional stability, right? And that's been something that I've been really working on inside of my relationship, because I definitely know the areas of my life and your life when you are solid emotionally, that you make more money, that you make better decisions, that you are the one that everybody looks up to because you're emotionally stable, right? And so how can you be more emotionally stable today? I mean, I have thousands of people who come to me to ask me to teach them how to grow their businesses. I mean, I grew mine from a closet first and now a living room. I'm literally in a beach condo right now. And we're living here until our house is finished being built. And I can honestly tell you that I started laughing the other day when I had 13 of my hardcore employees in this beach condo for a week as we're planning 2018 planning for this company. My desk is in the corner of the living room, which I'm coming to you from right now, right? I've got, a 2.5-year-old running around, a nanny, a husband. How the heck do I run a company from my living room? And I'm going to say that, it's not always easy. But emotional stability allows this moment to not be so frustrating that it steals a good decision, from you. So that's really all I wanted to. I'll take some questions. So you can go ahead on the thread and take some questions for me. Obviously, it was kind of a rocky start with my son getting up and being here with me, but it's a great example of how imperfect life works. I could, not wear a hat today. I could look absolutely perfect. I could have, good, the perfect lighting. I do have a light here lighting me up. The Nuvo ring, the eye ring, a Nuvo ring. That's a joke. The eye ring lighting me up. So I do have good lighting. I do things to be able to, be professional. But, the truth is that, sometimes you don't want to wash your hair. Sometimes your son wakes up. But can you still be a pro outside of everything having to be perfect? Because I will tell you, making money and building a team, you have to have a stable mind. So if I can paint a little bit more value for you to look for peace in the moments that are just frustrating as all can be today, I'm telling you, you will make better decisions to make more money. Cold calling will get better. You'll stop saying, I don't like cold calling. Guess what? It's one of the best ways to make money. I mean, every great marketer on this planet knows that. It's one of the best ways to make money. When you hear my peers get up online and say, let me show you how to make money without talking on the phone, it's because they got other people talking on the phone for them. My point is that stop running your life off of feelings. Run your life off of your commitments. This morning when I woke up my husband, I knew he wanted to get up and go running this morning. And so I could have been hard or come on, this is your commitment. Or I could have been honey, you're going to feel so amazing when you get back from that run. You're going to just love it. This is part of your commitments. You can operate off feelings, or you could be totally committed to what you're creating. And if you don't want to go, it's totally okay. But what do you want to choose in this moment? And you saw him come out after his run, right? So what are you committed to today? And you're going to have to unhook from your feelings. And maybe you're not a triggered person. That's not hard for you. Maybe you're a lazy person. Maybe you're someone who hit snooze on the alarm clock all the time because you're lazy. Where could you just not be lazy today? Maybe you are an emotionally triggered person and your spouse is driving you crazy in this season of your life. Or you've got a virtual assistant that's not project managing properly, right? What can you do to create peace in that moment and make a better decision? And maybe that is letting someone go. Maybe that is having a conversation of walking through the fear of saying, I care enough about you to put you in a place that you would love to go work at, and I'm going to let you go, right? And so what are the decisions you need to make today to create peace in your life? Another way of saying that is, what are you tolerating? What are you tolerating? Are you tolerating only earning X amount of dollars a month? Are you tolerating that? Because I know you can find an action that is going with that toleration, right? There's an action. Can you grab money? Thanks. Or you can, so are you earning just a certain amount of money a month? And what are you tolerating to create that? Are you tolerating somebody who's on your team that Zach just came and got the light that Ash was running with? Or are you tolerating a person on your team that is driving you crazy and you know you need to let them go, but you're afraid to let them go? What are you tolerating that you absolutely need to change right now? Now, please do not beat somebody else up and don't beat yourself up, right? If you let somebody go, it doesn't mean they're a jerk. They're still a child of God, right? So God didn't make any mistakes for any of us. Sometimes we show up powerfully in our lives and sometimes we show up lazy in our lives. So don't condemn someone because they're not showing up the way that you want them to be. But for God's sakes, if they're in a season that's not showing up, don't have them help you run your company. Let them go, right? Are you tolerating hiring somebody to plug holes in your company? I did that for so long. I hired great personality people that were hard workers who just were not qualified for job positions. And I tried to match job, tasks around them because I loved them. Don't tolerate those things because you're just trying to plug holes. What are you tolerating? And what do you have to change today? And my challenge for you today is, as you go through today, every moment that you are off balance, I want you to ask yourself, how can I access peace in this moment? How can I access peace in this moment? I actually prayed for individuals this morning, specifically in their lives, about accessing peace. And so how can you create peace? Because you cannot run an extraordinary company and impact the world unless you can be peaceful inside. It's very, very hard. If you're not peaceful inside, you'll end up in the hospital, you'll end up with a heart attack, something will happen. You'll end up with a divorce, something will happen, and you create that, not your company. Your company, the stress of growing a company, those are all driven from inside your brain. They're not because those things are stressful. It's because the way you filter them are stressful, and then you react out of your thoughts. So let's stop reacting out of our thoughts today and start operating from a place of power. Do not give anybody your power today. That doesn't mean you have to be an angry activist with your power. It just means that you have to be the cause of these moments of peace to be able to stealthily move through life in a way that you're going to impact. My wish and my prayer for you today is peace. And with that peace, may you absolutely come to a decision that creates a ton of wealth for you. That you deserve to be wealthy. You deserve to never serve money, ever, ever, ever. And you should have enough of it, in fact, an overflow for everything you want. And anything you want, there's an action to create it. And don't forget that. You're not victim to lack of money, time, spouse, any of that. You are tolerating it. So how are you going to show up today so that you don't tolerate the things that you don't deserve to tolerate in your life? Here's what I know for sure, and I'll end on this. We have one life that I know of that I can guarantee right now. And with this breath that I have today and you have today, do you really want to give your power away to something that creates anything less than exactly what you want? Anything less. Some people say they have to go get an office to grow a company. I work in a freaking living room, right? And I have a multiple 7-figure company going into 8 figures. Yes, I do want an office, but I'm not victim to needing it. Manage your mind today. You can have whatever you want if you decide to stop tolerating. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you soon. I hope that this was the right mind bolt that you needed for today, for the perfect decision to create an extraordinary day. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.